What's up, everybody? This is Erica from the Classy Climb blog. Sorry about the little delay there. I just had to get this one done. Wealthy people don't use banks. Nonstop money. Listen, you're going to say, Erica, you don't know this. You're not super wealthy. Listen, I've been to seminars. I've been to conferences. I've read books. The guy is great. A really great book for you to read is How to Get Rich. The guy has recently died, pretty young. But in the book, he literally goes 2 to 5 million. That's comfortably poor. Like literally $2 to 5 million annual, kind of overall net worth and wealth is comfortably poor. He's like, well, if something happens to you, you could sell a lot of your stuff and be fine. And that's kind of funny because they're always telling you the average retirement in America is 1 million, 2 million. Here's the real truth. Cash flow, cash flow, cash flow, cash flow. You guys hate hearing it. You hate hearing it from Rob Kiyosaki. You hate hearing it from other people. But let me tell you what I do know. I've actually sat down and studied under people who literally were homeless, living in their car, decided in Florida he was going to do nothing but buy tax liens. He started working, making his money in every check because he had a sweet deal living at his mom's house. He just bought tax liens. He ended up buying hundreds of tax liens in Florida. $400 here, $600 there, $700 there at 18, 24% higher percents. Now, what happened there? The percentage, the inflation of people having to pay back stuff at 18% made him wealthy. Okay, do you get that? All right, so look, another tip, lending club. I talk about it all the time on here. I'm getting 13%. There's some people getting 16%. But think about that. If you're investing, let's say your bank is just terrible and you're investing 10, 20, $70,000 in the lending club or things like it, here's these higher interest rates coming back. Here's another one, notes. And this one touched home for me. My mom had maybe $30,000 left on her mortgage. She was like, oh, pay this thing off, girl. 2 years, I'll be done. Bank of America sold the mortgage. Guess what happened? She immediately goes, who owns my mortgage? I'm outraged. Come to find out, it's a little mom and pop office in the middle of Texas. A husband and wife going online, going on these sites, buying real estate notes. So now my mom's every monthly mortgage goes to this little office who can't even do they can't do wire transactions, they can't do these, you have to literally mail it in, sometimes overnight if you mess up your mailing schedule. And that could be you. You could go around and say, listen, I got an extra $24,000. We're going to put it on these notes. But how do you get there? You get there through home ownership. You get there through owning things. So many people in the Black community, Latino community, not so much Latinos, they're a little bit better on this now, but a lot of people in the Black community are like, home ownership isn't for everybody. Listen, you dummy, buy the house, rent the house out, dude. Like, you don't have to live there. And people get stuck on that mindset of like, I have to cut the grass, I have to take care of it. I'm sorry, you were never meant to be taken care of your whole life. And to me, that's what apartments feel like. And when you have no control over your apartment situation, that's a helpless feeling. Trust me, if you're in Austin, Texas right now, and no apartment's letting you lease because of whatever, and that's hundreds, if not thousands of people, and they're just buying homes. We have people buying homes in Leander, Hutto, Burnett, all these places really far away because they can't get into an apartment. Okay, now they're better off for this home ownership. Man, it's a pain in the butt right now, but at the end of the day, if they need to refi, if they need to take that money and do something else, I cannot tell you how many people I know that are my age, 32 years old, bought a house when we first got out of college, paid that bad boy off because it was a $40,000 house in South Carolina, Summerville, or paid off it was a $40,000 townhouse in Raleigh, North Carolina. Well, guess what? When they refied it, they bought something else. They took that money from that refi, that cash out, and bought something else, and then did it again and did it again. Now, they have rules now where you can only be under the 85% or whatever the value of the property is. But imagine that. Many people are saying, well, Erica, that's treating your house like a credit card. No, that's treating your house like a capital investment. Now, people who in 2008, refied their house to pay off credit card debt and refied their house to buy Escalades and Expeditions, that's a terrible investment. Yes, I will agree. That is an absolutely terrible investment. But when I'm meeting people my age who took $20,000 out of their house, and everybody's like, oh, you're going to repair your house. He's like, oh, no, we're going to buy another house. We're going to rent this out. We're tired of dealing with the outdated look, right? Or people who are saying, I'm going to take that $20,000 and we're going to pay off all our cars. So now every month, all the extra income they have coming in, they can just invest it. Now, why don't the wealthy use banks? Because the bank's giving 1%, 2%. Look at, if you put $1 million into go right now and look on Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Chase, any of them, and see what the returns are for $1, $2, $3, $4, $5 million. Go to Grant Cardone's show. Go look him up and see what happened when he called the bank and said, look, I need $1 million out. I got several millions in there. I just want $1 million. Oh, it might take us a week, sir. It might take us a week to get you $1 million in cash. He's like, well, it's my money. Well, it might take you a week, sir. So think about that. It might take them a week to give him his cash. So why would they invest and use banks when they're only FDI insured for a certain amount? They don't use banks. They use insurance packages. I told you, I went to Northwest Mutual, is where my insurance is, and I literally asked about, how can I get money back on a term policy? How can I just get $20,000 back, out of this policy if I invest? And they call it the credit card of the middle class, which I laugh, but it's kind of true. And it was like putting $900 down a month for 10 years, and then the next 20 years I could pull out $20,000 or $30,000 whenever I wanted to. Different mindset, right? Nonstop money, right? Go look that up for yourself. There's a book called How to Be a Millionaire by 30. Go read it for yourself. See for yourself. See what people do with these annuities. And there's a meme going on Facebook that's really awesome and sad. It's a black guy, black wife, and a black baby. And it goes, Mike's paying $30 a month in insurance for, a $10,000 policy. Mike dies in a car accident. Mike, funeral's covered, but Mike's wife is broke, right? She's not going to be okay. Go to the left side. It's a white family. And I know it's totally terrible, but they did it, the white family. And it goes, Jeff pays $30 a month insurance, but he has annuities and he has different setup plans. Well, when he dies in a car accident, on accident too, at the same time, his wife will get, $100,000 and his kids will get $100,000 and they'll be paid over the course of this many years. And their kids will go to school for free. She will be okay. And that's the truth. I'm meeting people who, my father died 10 years ago. I've told people about this. I'm meeting people whose fathers died when they were in college and died before they even went to college. And they went to college on Social Security. They went to college on insurance money. They have paid off cars and paid off houses. Do you know what I'm saying? The difference in that? The difference in knowing that when they leave school, they don't got to worry about these jobs. They don't have to stress that. They can completely focus on applying for jobs that are comfortable for them. It's a different lifestyle. Now, there's nothing wrong with hustling and hard working and working your way up to $4 or $5 grand a month with multiple jobs, but you can't do it forever because your body breaks down, you get tired, you can't always do it. So why don't we think of ways to use our money and help us grow? Now let's do a simple math here. Why I say the wealthy don't use banks. Grant Cardone's always talking about apartments. And I've actually been to many syndication investments, and it's actually amazing to see what 35 people in a room can agree to do together, and everybody gets a little sliver of this apartment complex. 1% for you, 1% for you, 1% for you. It's amazing. It's an amazing thing to see if you get a chance. But what happens is it's cash flow. It's just cash flow coming in. And then he just takes that cash flow and buys another one and another one. And his own brother, who's a multimillionaire in his own right, sold multiple companies. His twin brother, in fact, says, if I had known now what I knew 20 years ago, I would have been buying apartments with my brother and we would have owned half of Texas, right? And there's many people thinking that same thought now. If I knew what I knew then, I'd have bought up more stuff in Texas before all these kids moved out here, right? So don't be that person. Don't live with regret. When I talk about putting $25, becoming your own banker, the video is somewhere here, somewhere there. But becoming your own banker, I'll link it at the end of this video. Becoming your own banker, part 1 and part 2. It's the truth. Buying land, 80% of millionaires, even Oprah, multimillionaires are real estate invested. 80% of their money comes from real estate. What does that mean? They know that, simple math here, if I buy a house in Fort Bragg, North Carolina for $45,000, and I turn around and I put like a $10,000 down payment on it or less, and I rent it out for $850 a month. Let's give it a round number, $900 a month. At the end of the year, I've got 10 grand. I gave 10 grand and I got 10 grand, and I'm gonna get 10 grand for every year after. So the house stays winning. Knock on the wood. And in 10 years, I would have got 100 grand off that house. It only cost 45 grand. that really cost 35 grand because I put 10 grand down on it. 35 grand is the cost of some Jeeps and BMWs right now. You could pay that bad boy off in the first or second year if you so choose. So keep the math simple. Don't overthink it. But say you say, Erica, real estate's not my thing. Fine. Go paper route. Go REITs. There's REITs. And you can also check for monthly dividend stocks. You can also even check on the 50. That's right. Go look for yourself. 50 real estate crowdfunding investing sites out there. The thing that bothers me when I talk to people is they say, Erica, if we could just get 10 of us together to buy this thing, it'd be great. How about let's just get 2 of us together with our credit and business lines of credit and buy the same thing? So look, wealthy don't use banks. They use land. They use real estate. Yes, and peer-to-peer lending, different forms, notes, high-end things, art. You guys, this is Erica, Classy Clown Blog. Later.